1989, a couple who went by the names of Sharon Marshall, 21 at the time, and Franklin Delano Floyd, at least 29 years or older, got married after their son Michael was born. They immediately started having marital problems, of course, because Franklin was physically and mentally abusive towards her. Sharon understandably wanted him to leave. This unfortunately led to her death at the hands of Franklin in a hit-and-run accident in 1990. Franklin then kidnapped Michael and shot him twice in the head the same day. However, this is not where the story ends. After digging deeper into Franklin's past, the police discovered some shocking revelations. Franklin had gone through a horrible past where he was abused and raped in a children's home where he had tried to escape but failed. Once 18, he worked at the Atlanta International Airport where he kidnapped and molested a little girl and then escaped prison, later robbing a bank. 1974, Franklin lived off the grid, evading police officers and keeping a low profile. He met a woman named Sandy Chipman, and under the alias Brandon Williams, married her and brought her to Texas. Sandy had 3 daughters and 1 son from a previous relationship before marrying Franklin, and they seemed to be getting along, and it wasn't until 1975 when Sandy went to jail for 30 days for writing bad checks that she would return to an empty house. Franklin had kidnapped all the children. Franklin dropped 3 of the children off at an adoption center where the son was adopted and only found out that he was Sandy's son in 2020. Sandy was able to track down the other 2 daughters before anything happened to them, fortunately. The last and eldest daughter, Suzanne Marie Savakis, however, remained missing. Shockingly, police discovered that Sharon Marshall was in fact Suzanne and that Franklin had raised her as his own daughter and then turned her into a wife. Franklin was not initially arrested for Susan's death or kidnapping, despite the confusing story. Instead, Franklin was detained by police for an incident in 1989, the murder of Cheryl Camesso. The police discovered photos of Cheryl's dead and beaten body alongside photos depicting the physical and sexual abuse that Suzanne went through under the hands of Franklin's fatherly teachings, and I use that term very loosely. Franklin is currently on death row for the murder of Cheryl and is being investigated for Suzanne's death and kidnapping.